بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المجد والخلود للشهداء. I always start my speeches by these words: glory and eternity for our martyrs, speedy recovery for the wounded, justice for our prisoners, and freedom for Palestine. These words are in fact a solemn vow that we carry in our hearts. They echo the pain, the resilience, and the unwavering spirit of a people who refuse to be erased. Over the past few days, I have been working on this intervention, and I have to admit, it was one of the hardest, one of the most difficult speeches I have ever to prepare. Why? Because so much has already been said, or perhaps to be more accurate, nothing is left to be said. The words that are needed to be spoken to stop the ongoing crimes have already been voiced. The truth out there for all of us to see. Everyone can see what's going on. Those who have the power to act should have already acted. So, as I stand before you tonight, I do this with the weight of knowing that words alone are not enough. Yet, silence is not an option either. We must continue to speak, to shed light, and to demand accountability for those who committed the crimes and those who failed to act when it was most needed. This is what we owe the martyrs who have paid the ultimate price, to the wounded seeking healing, and to the prisoners longing for justice, and to the people of Palestine who deserve dignity and freedom. In fact, we are the ones in pain. We are the ones who grieve, not only in the past 11 months, but also for decades. Decades that have seen our hopes deferred, our voices suppressed, and our lives shattered by a ruthless grip of occupation. So don't expect me to be calm. Don't expect me to be speaking in the measured tones of diplomacy, or to mask my frustration and anger. I can't. We can't. We are the ones who not merely studied occupation in textbooks. We have lived it. We are the ones who experienced what military occupation means. We were born and raised within the shadows of injustice, shadows of inequality, shadows of occupation. These shadows are not distant memories. They are a present reality, a permanent mark that remains vividly clear in our minds, our hearts, and our souls. Gaza, a place to us. Gaza is the most beautiful city on earth, according to us. That's how we see it. One of the oldest cities, rich in history, in culture, and in spirit. Yet this city, our home, has been turned into a war-torn city where the blood of my people spills all the time. The issue is not who has started it. If they say October 7th, I can go back to 1948 and even before. If they say it's about Gaza, I can say, what about killing 500 Palestinians in the West Bank and arresting more than 10,000? And this morning, starting a massive campaign in northern West Bank. If they talk history, we can talk history too. It's not about when or how. It's about what's going on right now. Human rights have been systematically violated in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Jerusalem, every day, every hour, and every minute. This genocidal war that was carried out under a pretext, under the guise of self-defense, is nothing short of catastrophic. A savage aggression in which more than 70,000 tons of bombs dropped on Gaza. This is the real cancer of our beautiful world, threatening the very fabric of this world, despite knowing the antidote which lies in our common and shared humanity. A depiction that I found very similar to the situation, quoting my nephew Karim, who was once asking his mother, how can the human body be so complicated yet function just fine for such a long time? The answer was, just like the word, it operates with unity until this unity ceases to exist. This analogy is strikingly relevant today. Much like the human body, our world is bound together by a shared set of morals and values. The harmony and safety of our global community are severely at risk when this moral framework begins to fall apart. This is a strike reminder of any remaining virtues, for any remaining virtues. I can assure you that in the past 11 months, we have witnessed the emergence of a new pandemic, not of a disease, but of immorality. We are indeed witnessing a breakdown of morals and values, signaling an era where international actors operate with impunity, disregarding established principles of human rights and dignity. It is a critical point in history, extraordinary, eventful, but not void of guilt and fear, and a fear watered by a strive to understand the implications of the evil around us and to cope with a fast-changing world filled with promise and squandered opportunities. Our actions today will determine whether we reaffirm our commitment to human values or to succumb to a dangerous new era of chaos and disregard. Am I going to give updated numbers of the casualties? No. Do numbers matter anymore? It's not easy for me to miss one number. If it's 40,000 or 40,001, perhaps this one is a figure for an outsider or bystander, but for me, it's a life. It's a story that I can't miss. Numbers are not really what one should talk about, but rather what each number means. It is true that the figures of hospitals, schools, mosques, churches, homes destroyed, taking away with them years of memories and warmth, do tell us about the nature of Israel's acts and the scale of destruction. Yet they are only part of the story. Each number represents a precious life. Whether it's one mother or 10,000 mothers, whether it's a child or 16,000 children, a husband, a father, they all had names and memories. They had beloved ones, and suddenly they disappeared. Each number is a dream for parents, grandparents, companions, friends, and relatives. A simple dream of a toy, or perhaps a trip to the zoo. A rose to a wife, or perhaps some good news for a husband. It's not about numbers. It's about the meaning of each and every single number. See, our struggle transcends race, religion, and nationality. It's about fundamental rejection of injustice and a refusal to accept inequality. It is a staunch belief and a firm stand against occupation, submission, and oppression. And we are determined to address and rectify this injustice, and we will pursue every avenue to ensure that justice is served. That justice is served and that the voices of the oppressed are heard and heeded. In fact, every day under occupation only reaffirms our determination. Each day the occupation escalates its atrocities and spills more blood of my sisters and brothers on this land. It only deepens our connection to it. Each act of oppression plants deeper roots of belonging and dedication within us. These sacrifices will never be in vain. And we know that this open wound promises of closing and never open again soon, inshallah. And before I conclude, let me share this important fact. Throughout thousands of years, Palestine has endured countless occupations. Countless occupations came to this land. Palestine stood firm, and all of those occupations ended outside Palestine. This chapter, too, will come to an end soon. Let me finish by saying that despite everything, we are standing tall there in Gaza. We're standing tall in Jerusalem, in Jenin, in Tulkarem, in Nablus, in El Khalil, and here in Budapest. We're standing tall, and we know for sure that we will go through this also walking tall. Do they think that we are crushed or in despair? Never. Our spirit remains unbroken. Our determination is solid. It is definite that soon we will see that day when justice and freedom prevail. Our day is coming. It is definitely coming. Independence is coming. A free Palestine is coming. Long live Palestine. عشتم وعاشت فلسطين. I thank you.